Neuralink's most memorable Cerebrum Embed Is Working. Elon Musk's straightforwardness isn't the main individual to get a Neuralink mind embed has obviously recuperated and can now control a PC mouse utilizing their considerations, as per Elon Musk, the organization's fellow benefactor. Progress is great and the patient appears to have made a full recuperation, with no evil impacts that we know about, Musk said on February 19 in a Space's Sound discussion on X, in light of an inquiry regarding the member's condition. The patient can move a mouse around the screen by simply thinking. The neuroscience firm, situated in Fremont, California, has been quiet about the testing and improvement of its mind embed, with refreshes coming from brief online entertainment posts by the organization or Musk himself. Musk usually makes big claims in less than 280 characters, but some scientists wired talk to say the billionaire could be more open about his brain implant project. In September, Neuralink announced that it would begin recruiting paralyzed participants to test the device, which it has dubbed Telepathy. In May, the company announced that it had received approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to launch the study. Last month, Musk posted that an underlying human subject had gotten the embed and that underlying outcomes show promising neuron spike identification. Neuralink is fostering a mind-PC interface, or BCI, which gives an immediate association from the cerebrum to an external gadget. BCIs record and examine mind cues, then, at that point, make an interpretation of them into yield orders did by that gadget. Musk considers BCIs to be an approach to ultimately consolidate people with man-made intelligence. However, for the present, Neuralink plans to empower individuals with loss of motion to control a PC cursor or console utilizing their contemplations alone. Paul Nuyujukian, an associate teacher of bioengineering at Stanford College who creates BCIs, says inserts like Neuralinks that are put in the mind tissue can get flags rapidly, so it's completely sensible that Neuralink's gadget can as of now permit an individual to move a PC cursor only half a month after medical procedure. According to Nuyujukian, it's not outside the realm of reality because, in our studies, we have successfully had cursor control in the first couple of attempts after implantation. Scholarly scientists have been trying BCIs for a really long time in creatures and in individuals, so Neuralink's most memorable human embed is certainly not a first in such manner. Be that as it may, Neuralink offers a couple of key upgrades of real value. Its framework is completely implantable and remote with a battery-powered battery, in line the possibility that patients will actually want to utilize these gadgets consistently in their day-to-day routines. Numerous shows of BCIs in scholastic labs have been with wired arrangements that utilization a link running from the patient's head to a PC or other outside gadget. Using 1,024 electrodes distributed across 64 threads that are each thinner than a human hair and are positioned within the delicate tissue of the brain, Neuralink's implant also records from far more individual neurons than was previously possible. Nuyujukian says that is significant for an elite presentation BCI. Some Neuralink rivals, like Accuracy Neuroscience, are creating inserts that sit on top of the mind, or on account of Synchron, a stentlike gadget that is embedded into a vein and sits against the cerebrum. By reading electrical patterns produced by groups of neurons, these devices aim to enable paralyzed individuals to communicate digitally. Neuralink hasn't precisely been working in mystery. It has livestreamed exhibitions of its innovation throughout the long term and distributed a white paper in 2019, yet a few specialists say the organization hasn't been the most straightforward about its examination by the same token. Neuralink didn't promptly answer a solicitation for input. Bioethicist Arthur Kaplan of New York University believes that Neuralink ought to be more transparent about its research in light of reports, such as those published by Wired, that the company's brain implant may have caused issues in monkeys. He states, "I think you owe it to your subject to say, our science is sound, and that has to be confirmed by peers, not just by people who have a stake in the company. The ethical obligation here is to safeguard the subject." Honestly, Neuralink isn't legitimately committed to uncover insights regarding its human and creature testing. The FDA requires all periods of medication preliminaries to be recorded on clinicaltrials.gov, an administration data set that incorporates data, for example, the quantity of members that will be signed up for a review, the preliminary site areas, and the results the preliminary will survey. In any case, attainability investigations of clinical gadgets that are right off the bat being developed don't need to enlist with the site. These investigations might incorporate only a couple of subjects. Quite a bit of what is realized about Neuralink's preliminary comes from a leaflet the organization made accessible the previous fall. It says individuals are qualified for the review assuming they have quadriplegia because of spinal line injury or the illness amyotrophic horizontal sclerosis, ALS, and are no less than 22 years of age. The underlying review includes a few center visits north of year and a half with long-haul follow-up going on more than 5 years. The review will require roughly 6 years to finish, as per the leaflet. However, Kaplan and others think people in general merits more data about the review and the members' ongoing condition. Individuals care profoundly about their minds. It's the most private thing to us, says Justin Sanchez, a specialized individual at Battelle, a not-for-profit research association in Ohio that has led human BCI research. At the point when we begin looking at building clinical gadgets for the cerebrum, theirs should be straightforward. Being more open about its exploration could likewise check deception about what Neuralink's innovation is really prepared to do. BCIs are not yet mind-perusing gadgets in the manner individuals could think, Sanchez says. Subjects go through a preparation period in which they're educated to consider a planned activity, like moving a cursor. This intention is encoded by brain signals that are captured by the implant. The BCI software gradually acquires an understanding of the signals associated with this intention and converts them into a command that carries out the user's intention. There's a gigantic hole between the thing is being done today and a tiny subset of neurons as opposed to figuring out complex contemplations and more refined mental sorts of things, Sanchez says. The last option will require substantially more modern neurotechnology, reasonable numerous inserts in various pieces of the mind that record from many, a lot more neurons, he says. The Neuralink device is inserted into a brain region that is responsible for movement intention. There's a public feeling of dread toward mind control, Kaplan says. In a 2022 review directed by the SEAT Exploration Center, most of American respondents said the boundless utilization of mind chips to further develop mental capability would be an impractical notion. Beginning this out totally in obscurity isn't the method for keeping people in general ready.